I am here. I am in the hot seat. Kevin is not here, but I have a special guest today. I'm very excited. Thank you, Ralph Lampkin, for setting this up. I want to welcome to the airways Adam Rothenberg.
Yes.
I said it right.
You did. You did.
Ooh. Okay. See, this is what happens when Kevin Lynch isn't here. Kevin Lynch, what are you doing to me?
I think I'm number 2.
Nope, you're not number 2. We think you're number 3.
Maybe 3.
Are you 3?
No.
Yes.
There we go.
Kevin, you're going to have to edit this out. So come closer to me. So
Okay.
welcome, everyone. Chew the Scene with LOMO Solo today. Adam Rothenberg from Call Me Adam. We just had a lovely coffee.
We did at Boontown Coffee, which
Yes.
I loved.
Yes.
So good.
So we were connected by our associate, Ralph Lampkin.
Yes.
And we actually were discussing, we actually have some crossover interviews. We've actually interviewed some of the same people, which I think is kind of exciting.
I love it.
Yes. And we hit it off. He's actually like, do we have to go? I'm like, we do. So, he's going to be interviewing me today, which is actually very, very exciting. So
I can't wait.
I know. So how do you want to start? I'm at your mercy.
Oh, well, I'm sort of at your mercy as well,
I
because
know.
it's your show. Well, maybe I'll just give people a quick introduction, a little bit about me.
Yeah,
and
let's
then
talk about you and your show.
And then and then maybe we could start with the interview and then go from there.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
We're going to see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to just play it
by
Play
ear.
it by ear, yeah. Okay, so I host the website Call Me Adam, which I've been doing for 11 years. I interview artists and performers. And then I also, this past summer, started a podcast called Burying It All with Call Me Adam, where I try to get my guests to reveal things that they have not talked about in previous interviews. Yes.
He's going to try.
Yes. I think I'll succeed with you today.
I think you will.
Yes.
I think you will.
So some of the people that I've interviewed over the years are like Olivia Newton-John, Sutton Foster, Erica Jane, Anne and Liz Hampton-Callaway, Austin Pendleton and Barbara Blyer, Debbie Gibson, Mel B from the Spice Girls. So a wide range of people.
Yes.
But
I'm excited to be in such
here.
company. Seriously.
And I'm sure they're excited to be in your company.
Oh, well, I'm
Yeah.
excited that you're here. This is
Me
awesome.
Me too. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So where can they go find you? They should go like your stuff.
Yes. So
go like his stuff.
on social media, you can find me at Call Me Adam NYC, or you can go to my website, www.callmeadam.com. And my podcast, Burying It All with Call Me Adam, is on my website, but you can also find it on the Broadway Podcast Network, which is a platform of over 50 theater-related podcasts. So you can find them at BroadwayPodcastNetwork.com.
That's awesome.
And then you can find my podcast there as well.
Yep, and you can see his logo. I love I love your logo,
Oh,
by the
thank
way.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love the caricature. Who did that for you?
My podcast logo was created by Liam O'Donnell,
Okay.
Who I used to work with at my day job. And then my website logo was created by my friend Billy Mitchell and Jay Cooper.
Oh, it's awesome.
Jay drew the caricature and Billy helped colorize it and everything.
Which is a thing, actually, which I
Yeah.
learned from being friends with some people that do comic books, that some people draw them and then
Yep.
the other people are the colorists.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so fascinating.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So we're really excited to be doing this like crossover show,
Yes.
and kind of, learn about each other and kind of, cross promote. We were talking and I was saying how I like to help everyone. I feel there's room for us all in this big old world. So
I agree.
I'll help you, you help me, I'll help this person. I mean, that's just how we are. So I'm excited to do this today, and I'm like excited to see what you're going to ask me. What will I reveal, guys? You probably will find out some new things, because there's definitely some things that I have going on that I have not talked about. So
I love it.
yes.
I love it. So, all right, well, we'll start with a few questions and then we'll
Sure.
just see how it goes. All right, and I do have to have my paper in front of me.
Do what
because
you
I
gotta
have
do.
no-
He's
I
so
have no
organized. No, I
memorization.
love it.
Okay, so I also hate this angle of me.
Oh, you don't like
do.
it?
It's okay. It's all right.
Do you want me to flip it so it's more long?
No, I guess no, because then we both won't really be in it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Unless we're like cheek to cheek.
Yeah, we could
very,
do that.
very
Yeah.
like theatery. There
Yeah,
we go.
There we go. Okay, so let's just start with a little background.
Okay.
So how did you come to start Homegrown Radio New Jersey?
Well, my husband started. We've been in existence for 15 years.
Incredible.
So he was working at a college radio station that was getting rid of DJs. So he was on the him and his partner were on the chopping block. Not for any reason. I think they were just like kind of like reformatting. So he was like, I'm going to start my own station. He did a lot of research, a lot of work, and he came up with the idea of Homegrown Radio. At the time, we were really the only internet radio station. We started out in Blairstown in the middle of the wood, like in the country. And we had a big party. We kicked off on a Goosey Night or Mischief Night, whatever you call it, 15 years ago. I was pregnant with my firstborn at the time.
God.
And we've had some changeover, but some of our DJs are still there from that opening show. So yeah, for 15 years, he just was like, "No, you're not going to shut me up. I'm going to do my own show." And here we are. And now we moved, to Boonton, which is great because we have more foot traffic, and it's a very lively community.
Now, have you been doing the show as well for 15 years on air?
No. I just started doing the show. I want to say we started like 4 years ago. Me and my partner, Danny, he couldn't be here today. I figured if you can't beat him, join him. Because remember, I was pregnant for like a lot of this time. And I had done an interview. I was like freelancing. I wasn't doing a show. And me and my partner, Danny, I said, why don't we do a show together? And he was like, we should do a show. I said, don't tease me. Don't tease me, like, with a good time. So, yeah, we ended up connecting, and we've been doing it every Thursday, one day a week. We started just doing music and just chit-chatting, and then I started to reach out and doing, like, the interviews. And here we are, like 4 years later. I love it. And we used to be on the other side. That used to be our station on the other side.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of changes. But yeah, it's about 4 or 5 years we've been doing this.
That's incredible.
I can't. It's crazy.
Now, when you think back to when you first started Chew the Scene to today, I mean, what do you think has been the biggest growth for you?
I think that we did get a compliment from a guest that said, wow, your connection to each other. We have this amazing ability to, we just know when the other person's going to ask a question. So we have this great back and forth. I think our growth is definitely the people that we're interviewing. I mean, including you coming in here today. So I think our online presence, you could always listen to our interviews on my YouTube channel, which is Lauren Moran Mills. We have some great interviews there. But we've definitely grown, and even like in the scene, we've grown. People know who we are, which is totally cool. Yeah,
I love that. I do want to highlight some of the interviews you've done because there's so many great people that you have spoken to, and some of them I've spoken to too. But I mean, you got to interview Dan Loria from the Wonder Years, which is incredible.
Yes, he was our TV dad.
Yes, I
right.
know.
Remember growing up?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes,
it was amazing.
So good. Austin Pendleton and Barbara Blyer.
Fantastic.
They're great.
And have you seen them live?
Yes.
They were that
terrific.
show. We did a sing along. Richard Maltby was there. We were singing along in this. Did you go to Pangea?
Yes, Pangea.
So fabulous. Did you go this time around?
I did.
Oh, I wish we could have hooked up.
I know.
Well, now we know.
Well, now we know.
Yes.
Gerard Alessandre, who created Forbidden Broadway.
So great.
Incredible. And if you've never seen that show, it's back now at the York.
Yes.
Definitely go see it. Donna Vivino.
Oh, Donna's fabulous.
God,
Saw her Next to Normal.
Yes.
So great.
Oh, you got to see her.
I got to see her. We drove to Bristol.
Oh, that's so great. I couldn't get down there, but I did an interview with her about it. But it sounded like it was going to be incredible.
Do you know that show gave me nightmares? Not their production, like the actual book show. No,
it's a heavy show.
Like, I actually woke up. I called my husband. I was crying. He's like, what's the matter? I was like, I just had the worst nightmare, and I'm so upset. But it means that it spoke to me. It affected me. Yeah, she was great.
Exactly. Len Cariou.
Len Cariou. I know.
So
Original
great.
Sweeney.
Yes.
Like, stop, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Ed Dixon.
Yes.
I love him.
Ed Dixon, who's like in the sunny place right now.
Yes.
Parasailing and stuff.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. One of my favorite people, I'm going to butcher his last name, and Dennis, forgive me. Dennis
Giacino.
Yes. From Disenchanted.
And I directed Disenchanted.
You did.
So this was the thing. I directed Disenchanted at the Women's Theater. We're a special appearance theater in New Jersey. And he wasn't able to come to the show, but they were revamping the album. I said, why don't you come on the show? We actually came here like you. I love Dennis, and I love Disenchanted.
So great.
Such a great
so
guy.
Great. And
yeah.
his husband, Filey.
Yes, they're
oh my
so
God.
fabulous. He wasn't here, but they are so fabulous.
Yes. I met them actually in like 2001, 2002. Filey was doing cabaret show in the New York Fringe Festival.
Right.
And ever since then.
Oh, so great.
Yeah. And then I also love Carrie Manilakis.
Oh,
I mean,
did you listen? She's fantastic.
Her album is on fire.
She is so
incredible.
Like,
so
can
talented.
I say so cool? Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I look at her. I'm like, you're just so cool.
Yeah.
And her
She
interview,
is.
she was so down to earth, and she's doing a show, I think, at Carnegie Hall. She's
Yes,
here now.
coming up.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I saw her posting.
Yes.
So I mean, Brian Gallagher, who's married to Megan Hilty,
Oh, yes.
his awesome album, The Brownstone, check it out. Rob Rakicki wrote the music for
Oh, I love
Lightning
Rob.
Thief. Rob
Yes.
is so awesome.
Yes.
Justin Sargent, who is our Spider-Man, who
Oh.
I just ran into him. I just did a reading for a new musical at Ripley, and he was there, and I'm looking at him going, I walked out to join the break. I'm like, I interviewed you. He goes, I knew it was you. I was like, you literally almost got a text from me during this reading being like, I think.
Aw.
So yeah, I like you. We were talking about it. I love talking to people.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
It's so fun. I love learning about people,
Me
their
too.
history, their stories, everything.
Because it becomes a part of you. You
It
take
does.
that with you.
You
They're
do.
all lessons.
I mean, everybody I've interviewed, I feel like they're part of my extended family.
Of course, they
Yeah.
totally are.
Yes. Okay, so now how did you get into acting? Because you act. You're, I mean, most recently you've come into the horror genre.
Yes, horror.
So how did you sort of transition everything?
So my parents met in the theater. They met in a show a long time ago in the 70s. Actually, the story is my mom was trying to hook up my dad with a friend of hers, and my dad was not interested in the friend. My dad was interested in my mom. My mom has passed away. My mom's been gone now for almost, oh my gosh, like 14 years.
Oh.
So they end up getting together. And the best line is, and I think I posted on Facebook because it's hilarious and it's so my mom. They went out on a date and she said, surprisingly, I had a good time. Words from the heart. But that was like so my mom. I was dying. So yeah, so they met in, it was called Wayne Musical Theater. Actually, Leland Ball used to do stuff. My dad's like, you ever hear from Leland Ball? I'm like, no, but I know he's big. I think he's out in LA. I think. Don't quote me on that. But he was a part of this group. So I always say my first role was Lola because my mom was pregnant when she was cast as Lola in Damn Yankees.
Oh my God.
So I grew up at rehearsals, doing theater with my parents. I kind of fell into it. I was painfully shy as a kid, though.
Really?
Oh, you would look
never
at me.
know.
I know. And then one day I just had this like awakening. So yeah, I started doing theater. I did the whole auditioning thing. I went to Lee Strasberg Theater Institute. I did the whole New York, Pounding the Pavement. And then I just went to a job fair. We have the New Jersey Theater Alliance is like the league of professional theater in New Jersey. They do a job fair. I went. I got hired for Pushcar Players as an office assistant. They're a children's theater, traveling children's theater. Started working there. Then I did ASM work with them. And then I started working at the Growing Stage, which is another children's theater. And I started teaching there. Then I got involved with the women's theater. And then I started directing. And then with choreographing and then directing. But I did start directing, actually, I want to say in college. We did a college production. So I did acting and all that stuff. I kind of put that aside. I did directing, teaching, choreography, and then it was about 5 years ago I was like, I kind of want to get back on stage again. So Barbara Krakowski, who's one of my mentors, that's Jane's mom, who runs the women's theater, said, I want you to play this part. I think it's great for you. So I played a first lady who was like a little shady. It was all about an election, and it was right before this recent election.
Interesting.
So I kind of I had a great time. I was terrified. It's been a long time, since I had to memorize so many lines. Then I did another show, and then I started getting these movies, this horror, and now I'm becoming like this horror woman in New Jersey,
which is so fascinating to me.
I love it.
So you've done two, or you've done one, you're shooting one, and you're about to maybe.
So yeah. So what happened was I answered an ad on or a call on Facebook for, it was a horror like a ghost seeking series. So through that, I got cast. I'm the mom. I'm always the mom, proverbial mom, which I was telling Adam was like a mind fuck for me. So we can swear here, because I am a mom in real life, but then being cast as a mom, it was just like weird. But I've embraced my momage on screen and off. So I got cast as the mom in the recreation, became friends with the cinematographer, the director. I want to give a shout out to Darren and Bill from WAG Production. So we ended up hitting it off. They called me in. They were producing another horror film, and I got a call from the director. Darren and Bill want you for this role. Okay, great. I'm in this horror film. And then Darren and Bill called me in for a voiceover that I did. And then they called me in for my recent one, which if you see the pictures on Facebook, I'm in the cat suit and with no eyes. Clearly I died.
And blood all
over my face. I couldn't see. So they called me in for that. And then in March, the people that did, this is like so confusing. The Paris Seekers TV show, he's doing a movie. Mm-hmm. Like a full-length movie on why he became a ghost hunter. So I'm the mom in that too. So it's like I'm like one of the leads in this like feature film. I know, it's crazy.
Look how like that one connection led to all of these things,
right?
Which is so fascinating.
I know.
It really
crazy.
goes to show so much of like who you know in addition to your talent and your skills.
Yes.
It's also all about the connections.
It's all about the connection. I just got contacted by someone else that I'm in Chicken Legs. Something's Fowls Afoot, which is a trailer. It's actually, we're filming a trailer that's going to be in this other movie, but I was talking to the director today. I said, we got it. I said, everyone wants this to be a feature. Mm-hmm. So what do I got to do to make it happen? Because I will do whatever. Because it is so much fun and the crew's so great. So you're right. It is all.
Yeah.
It's all connections.
Now, does the horror genre, as you're filming, do you ever get like spooked out, scared?
No. First of all, you film a lot of, when you do filming, you film out of order.
Mm-hmm, right.
So, and it's a lot of like standing and waiting. Mm-hmm. I did a lot of, I'm not complaining, but I don't have a stand-in yet, but I had to do a lot of like standing and sitting in, for your lighting. So it's not like theater where you have this, like, you just kind of go with it and run. Like there's like take, stop, do this, do that. No, I don't get freaked out. There's something kind of thrilling about horror. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm like musical theater acting, but the horror genre, there's like that thrill of, the adrenaline. Like when you watch a horror movie, we get so freaked out, but we like it. It's like going on a roller coaster. Like you like that freaked out feeling. So that's how it is with horror. Mm-hmm. And it's a little heightened. Not that this stuff doesn't happen, but I mean, if you saw my pictures, like my eyes were cut out. I'm sure this definitely happens, but it's also like these fantastical heightened realities, which is like so much fun. But there's a couple of scenes that we filmed. I have one more day on set in 2 weeks that were, I was in it. Like, you just got to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, in that moment. And sometimes you only get a moment.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right. And you've probably spent, like, 6 hours filming for that split second of airtime.
And I was telling Adam, even with the makeup, that was, like, 90 minutes of that application. And I swear the scene's, like, a second. And it was, like, a lot of work, a lot of makeup, a lot of blood everywhere. But and I'm finding myself watching more horror. I've always loved Halloween is my favorite. I love that feeling of like, Michael Myers is always kind of there, that loomingness. Yes. And this one's fun because I play a Mrs. Robinson or like a Stifler's mother type. And I get to be Catwoman. So it's like a lot of bucket list stuff for me. So I was like, I'm down. But I say yes to everything.
That's good. That's good. Joan Rivers always said, say yes to everything.
I say yes to everything.
That's how you get to do so many different things.
And I never want to be pigeonholed into one thing. So like right now I'm doing horror and I freaking love it. If you need anyone to die on film, I'm your girl. I freaking love it. But I'm not saying, I'm not saying I wouldn't do other things. I will do everything. Yeah. I was telling Adam that, I want to experience life in all forms. Rejection, love of the craft. I want to absorb all those energies. It just makes me a better person.
Yeah, it does. So, since you love horror film, I am gonna tell you. So, do you know Barry's Boot Camp, the gym franchise? So Barry, who founded it, he has also moved into the horror genre, and he's made like 3 or 4 horror movies. Very suspenseful. And if you like Friday the 13th, he did a great homage to Friday the 13th. Yes. If you look on like iTunes or something, just type in Barry J and you can find his movies. So since you like watching them as well.
Barry J, come find me.
Yes.
I'll die for
I'll
you.
hook you up to him.
Hook me up with him.
Yeah,
Seriously, because
definitely.
I'll die in your movie.
Yeah.
You can kill me. I'll wear all the
You
blood.
probably have to fly out to California for it.
I'll fly out.
Anywhere.
I'll go anywhere. I will. If I can make it happen, I will
Yeah.
make it happen.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I also love that my headset
I know.
is like, this thing is like holding off, and it feels like Gem and the Holograms, and I just have to go Showtime Synergy, and she's gonna,
Yes,
all
like-
of a sudden I'm going to become a rock star.
You are truly outrageous.
Yeah, I love it.
Truly.
I love it. Yes.
Truly
Thank
outrageous.
you, Synergy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, this is the 35th year of Gem and the Holograms.
First of all, I will. I used to watch that show.
yeah.
Way beyond when I should not
Yes.
have been watching it
Yes,
anymore.
I know.
was
Me
watching
too.
it.
I have the whole series on DVD.
But I didn't see the new movie. I heard it wasn't that good.
No, I was not interested in the movie.
No, I wasn't
No,
either. Just
no.
leave it alone.
Yes.
Leave it alone.
Yes.
I want the earring.
Yes. Oh my
Right?
God. There has to be a way. If Samantha Newark is watching this, who was the voice of Jem,
Yes.
you have to come on Lauren's show.
Come on my show.
You
Listen.
have to.
I would
We're
love
gonna
that.
tag her when we finish recording.
We're tagging.
and it's out.
We're-
I'll tag her.
Tag
Yeah.
her and say,
Yeah.
I know. I used to watch Jem getting ready for school in the morning,
Yeah.
like in high school.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie.
No, I watched it all the time.
I know.
I still sing some of the songs.
Oh my-
to
they
it.
were-
And
it was
all these
so
years,
cutting
so
edge.
catchy. I went to do you know Michael Longoria from the Jersey Boys?
Yes, yes.
And Midtown Men. So he just did a concert on Tuesday at Birdland, and it was a concert of
Love
love
Birdland.
songs for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So good. That's such a great venue. And he's like, I'm gonna sing this song. He's like, Paris is like the most romantic thing, and in my head, I was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna sing Twilight in Paris from Gem and the Holograms," and then it wasn't. It was like some other song. But
You were like-
I was like, "Oh my God, please, for one moment!" And then the whole time he's singing that song, I kept thinking of Twilight in Paris. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna sing it because I can't sing well. So
I know. People are like, you can sing. I'm like, I'm an actor who can sing. Like I teach performance,
Yeah.
like how to tell a story. But I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
it's not my.
no, people tell me to quiet when I sing. They're like, "Shh," or they're like, "Who sings that song?" They're like, "Let them sing it." So.
Well, my children will do that. We were watching Teen Beach Movie 2. Oh, my daughter. We were watching Teen Beach Movie 2. And my daughter, my little one, she's 9. She's like, Mom, I'm just going to move over here. I'm like, no, just put the TV louder. She's like, no, it's your singing. It's like, I'm sorry. I'm just like cruising for a bruising. Have you seen the Teen Beach movies?
No, I
They're
haven't.
so Disney, but I'm sorry. They're so charming. I think someone should make a workout video
Yes.
using all those Disney movie dances.
Oh my God.
Would that be a great
That would be a
workout?
great workout.
I would do that
Yeah.
workout because I just quit the gym. I quit the gym and lost like
Oh,
5-10
wow.
pounds. I swear to God, I quit the gym and I lost weight.
So what's your secret then?
You know what? It's really diet, to be
Yes,
honest. I mean, that's
yes.
they always say with weight loss, it's like 95% diet.
Yes.
So I know I had a cookie today. That's like my
Yes.
once a
I
week
had a
thing.
scone.
He did. We had coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
But so we bought an old Victorian house that we're renovating. So we have 2 staircases. So we have our front staircase and we have the servant staircase.
Uh-huh.
So I literally ask my family. I do my steps. I go up and down the staircase.
That's so great.
And then I go back the other way. So, and just walking, running. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I joined the gym. I really wanted to love it. I love the idea of it, and I hated it
Yeah.
when I was there. Like I would get there and be like, I can't wait till this is done. So it's like, you know what? When I initially dropped all my weight,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do the gym. I did diet and I did running. So I'm just like, I'm gonna go back to
great.
that. Yeah.
That's great. I like group classes.
Like
Yeah,
my gym didn't
I
have
like that.
classes
Oh,
though.
okay.
It's blank, which
Yeah.
is great, but it's
Oh,
all
yeah,
machines.
right.
So I
no,
like
it's hard to
classes.
stay. When I used to be with New York Sports Club, I would hardly go because it was like I was so unmotivated.
Yes.
And then I did start going. That was my introduction to classes. I started doing some of their classes,
Yeah.
and then I now have found boutique gyms around the city to go to, and I do enjoy it.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to do Zumba or Zumba. I would love to do hip hop. But I want like street hip hop. I don't want like suburban mom hip hop.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
dance recital hip hop.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm not, just saying.
Just saying.
Not judging.
No. Why don't we play a little game?
All right.
Okay.
I love games.
Speaking of the horror genre, and then we'll go back to some other questions.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to list some things, and you're going to tell me if they make you scream or not.
Okay.
Okay. So, mice or rats?
No.
Mm,
I mean, but
lucky.
if they were crawling on me, maybe
Yeah.
I would be screaming.
Yeah. Snakes?
Yeah, I don't like snakes.
No.
I want to like them. I want to
Mhm.
dance with a snake around me.
Oh.
I like Britney.
Wow, yeah.
But I feel there's just something about that they can move the way they move without
Mhm.
arms or legs. Freaks me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Blood?
No, not blood. No, I could deal with blood.
Okay. Traffic?
Traffic annoys me.
Uh-huh.
But I've learned that to get mad at things that you can't control is not worth it.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah.
a good lesson. Ghosts?
Yes. I again, I love ghosts. I love the idea. I definitely believe in the spirit world and that there are sometimes energies that get trapped here. But I know if I came face to face with a ghost, I would freak the F out.
Yeah.
Like, I love
too.
the idea, but if, like, I looked over and there was a ghost at me, I'd be screaming.
So I have a little story to tell you.
Tell me. I love it.
So there was one night I was sleeping over my boyfriend's house, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and there was a colonial man standing at the edge of the bed.
See?
And I was like, I rubbed my eyes, and he's still there, and I'm like, go away. And then I started kicking him, and literally, I was literally kicking him. He's not come back since. My boyfriend is like, how do you know it was real and not a dream? I said, because I was like rubbing my eyes, and I saw myself kicking him. And he's like, well, why didn't you wake me up? And I was like, well, I didn't want to disturb you. And I was like, I was able to handle it myself.
But it also, don't you feel like you can't scream? Like, when you have those, don't you feel like a little, like, frozen in time?
Yes. I think that's why I was also kicking, because I couldn't really move, and my leg was the one thing I could move.
You were paralyzed with fear.
Yes.
That happened to me when I was way younger. I was sleeping at a family friend's house, and we were sleeping in the same bed. We were like, 6 or something. And I woke up, and I'll never forget, there was a little girl sitting at the edge of the bed brushing her hair. And I was like, oh, my God. Of course, I'm like, not even in my own freaking house.
Right.
So I was like,
even
I think
scarier.
I just, like, covered my eyes. But I love the thrill of it. I love the idea of it. But I couldn't stay in, like, a haunted mansion.
Yeah.
I would never sleep.
I don't know. Part of me wants to do that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Lastly, do dead bodies make you scream?
No, they don't. I have unfortunately seen 3 people,
Oh, wow.
Die in front of me. It's a very interesting. It's interesting when you see someone's life force leave them. It's because so much of us is made up of our life force, and we're really just the shell that's left behind.
Right.
So when you're with someone, when they take their last breath, it's kind of like weird. So, but I've never come across like a.
You've never like tripped over a dead
No,
body.
like like I feel like these people that find these like the people in a river, like I'm like, oh gosh, that's probably traumatic.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of prepared for what I saw.
Yes.
But no, that doesn't. I'm Italian, so you go to a lot of funerals. There's this quote, I can't remember what show it was. It was like, being Italian is about death and a good sauce. Yeah. And that's the truth. You go to a lot of funerals when you're Italian. So I think I'm kind of used to that, seeing a dead body.
Yeah. That's all I had.
Oh, okay. Plus, I play dead bodies.
Right.
I play dead bodies on film. So,
do you have a little room to move over?
Yeah. Okay. Come on. I know. I feel like you're like.
No, I think I was just.
There we go.
Okay.
There he is. There he is. He doesn't like the. I know the angle's weird.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right.
It's all right. All right. So another question I had was, so like you mentioned, you're a mother, you're a wife, you work. So how do you balance everything?
Oh God. You know what? It's funny because a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you do it? I have a great support system. When my mom was alive, she was obviously very, very helpful. My dad, shout out to Hal. He helps me out. He's 76 and he is my best friend. I mean, he really is like, even my husband's like, your dad's like your number one fan. My dad,
that's so nice.
I'm an only child.
Oh.
So it's me and my dad. And he's very supportive. He helps me out whenever I need it. My husband he knows I'm going to say yes to everything. He's like, go do it. He's very supportive. I think because there's this fire in me that you can't say no to me.
Right.
Because I cannot be, I do what I want.
Yeah.
I can't be stopped. And I just make it happen, but I'm still there for my kids. But there are times, and like, sometimes I get flack for this, or people will roll their eyes. Sometimes my kids aren't my number one. They're always my number one, obviously. Yes. But there are sometimes when they're old enough, you can make your own dinner. You can do this.
Yes.
And my kids do their own laundry. Even my 9-year-olds, they do their own laundry. They make their own lunches. I'm teaching them independence early because I feel like I didn't really have that. My mom did a lot for me. So when she died, and she died when my daughter, my 15-year-old, was a baby.
Oh, wow.
I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like stupid things. Like I didn't know, like stupid mundane things. I didn't really like know how to do. I mean, I know how to do now.
Yeah.
So I think making my children be independent, forcing them to do that. I mean, I don't have to hover over them with homework. I mean, they do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is hard. It is tiring. It's a lot of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tito's on the weekend. Not a lot. I'm actually not a huge drinker. I don't drink during the week. But like, no, it's just being. I think how I balance it is there are times when I'm pretty absent because like. I'm filming this feature. I'm going to be gone for a week, but then when I'm present, just being totally present for them, and really, and I love that. You know what I love? I do love when I'm super busy doing a show or doing a film or something, and then I come home and I love being domestic. Like tonight, my rehearsal was canceled. I'm so excited to I'm going to cook dinner tonight. I'm going to get some work done for Ralph, but I'm going to like hang out. Maybe we'll play some games. So it's just the balance is hard, and I always say coming back into my motherhood role, I always say, I'm assimilating back because that is the rough. When I've been away for so long and then coming back in is hard. But I'm lucky. I'm super lucky. Keith Herman, who wrote Romance, you know Keith? He was my teaching partner for a long time at the Mayo where I work, the Mayo Performing Arts Center. And he said to me, I'll never forget, you're living the dream, babe. You have a family. He goes, you have a home. And he goes, and you're in show business. He goes, that's what the dream is.
Yes. Yeah.
So just making it happen. You know, a lot of people, I think, they let fear take over and they're so afraid. And I'm like, F that. I'm going to do it. I live every day.
Yeah, you
like
have to take that chance.
You have to.
You do.
You know?
Can I take this out?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I think that'll make it a little more comfortable.
Yeah, whatever you're used to. Slide it.
Oh.
Here we go. There you go. Awesome.
Oh, okay. This will be better. And then
because you're used to that anyway.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Good mic
And
skills,
it was also like a little weird to always be like.
I know, because then I'm like,
yeah,
I didn't want to get too
I like
close
this.
to
Yeah.
you.
No, this is good.
I was gonna like slide you over.
Yeah. No, this is perfect. And I do like that you do put yourself first, because there are a lot of, I know, mothers and fathers out there who are like, I can't do this because of my kids, and it's nice to see that you do take that time for yourself to do what you want to do, because you're still a person living here. So it's great, and it's a great example, I think, for your children to show that you can do both. You can be a parent, you can have a career, and you can do both. And you may have those moments, like you say, where you're not around that much, but with technology today, there's so many ways to keep that contact going. So. I
mean, my daughter just called me right now. So, I mean, it's like, and I'm very close with all my kids. My teenager, we sit in the car. Even if I'm driving her like a minute to the high school, she'll open up to me. She'll tell me stuff that's going on. I mean, I know she's not telling me everything, but, and I just let her talk.
That's wonderful.
You know, I let my kids be me, but it's hard. And I'll tell you, parenting was not easy for me. I had very bad postpartum, very bad when I had my older daughter, and they put me on Zoloft.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it was the cliche, crying all the time.
Oh gosh.
The anxiety, and I feel bad too, because it took me a little bit of time to connect with my older daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I loved her, but. You know, I played with dolls growing up, and I played pretend all the time. So I was shocked that I was struggling after I had her. But then I went and had, 2 more kids.
Right.
But bad postpartum. Parenting was not easy. It was hard for me.
Yeah.
But no regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets. I love my
but
kids.
You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
I mean, it's something you think you could be as prepared as you. Like, you think you could be super prepared for it, and I think you just never know what it's going to be. I mean, I'm not a parent, so I don't know for sure. But,
right.
But,
no, yeah.
But I've heard a lot of parents say, I expected this, and this, and it's like it's like you live your life, though, but it's through someone else's life.
And you know what? And I think this has been a life lesson, not just like parenting, just in life. I never expect anything. If I do something for you, I'm not doing it because I think you're going to do something for me in return. It's because I want to help you.
Yes.
And I think when you don't expect things and you just do things to do them from the goodness of your heart, or you just do them, I think that's when a lot of that fear disappears. And that's when you kind of live your life to the most. I make a lot of mistakes every day.
Sure.
And they used to freak me out. I used to not like to make mistakes. Now I'm like, whatever. I'm like, what's the lesson here? Okay.
Right. It's all learning.
It's all learning.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about.
Exactly.
It's all learning.
Exactly.
Even like the biggest disappointments are always a lesson.
Yes.
Nothing happens accidental.
No, nothing at all. Yeah. Oh, I have another game that we could play.
Oh, I love games.
Yeah.
This
Thank
is
God
fun.
for my notes because
I know, you're
you're
smart.
like, I have to write everything down. And I'm sorry to keep adjusting the headset.
No, it's all right because you got like the dangle.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I'm so sorry that
No,
these
it's
are
okay.
like.
It is what it is. Oh, I have it on the other side.
Yeah,
too.
too. So
I
you
love
match
it.
at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So since the radio station is called Homegrown New Jersey, I want to find out some of your favorite places to go in New Jersey.
Oh gosh. Okay.
So where would you suggest breakfast?
Breakfast. So me and Kevin, we like to go to this place called Carver's in Denville. They open fairly early, but they close I think around like 3. So they're only for breakfast and lunch. They have they do great eggs Benedict, which is my guilty pleasure. And they do this instead of home fries for like $1. You can get these like roasted vegetables, which I'm obsessed with.
Oh, yum.
So Carver's, another place I like to go to for breakfast, which I'm going with my friend tomorrow. We're having our little Galentine breakfast. Kathy, shout out. The Pompton Queen Diner.
Oh, okay.
And that's in my hometown of Pequannock, New Jersey,
Oh.
where I grew up. So I love to go there too.
I love that. And I love that you're doing a Galentine
We're doing a
celebration.
Galentine.
That's so great.
Yes, we're
That's
going to
really
get together.
great.
It's been a while. When I directed Legally Blonde, she was my Paulette, and we just hit it off. She's super fierce. She's amazing. I just love her, and I know we're going to be there for hours tomorrow just talking.
That's going to be a great
She's
time.
the best. So, yay, my Galentine.
I love it. I
Oh,
love
Ralph's
it.
watching. Sounds fab. Thank you,
Oh,
Ralph.
hey, Ralph. Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
And thank you to everybody tuning in
I
as well. We're thrilled
know.
that you all are listening and watching.
I'm
Okay, where would you go for lunch?
So for lunch, first of all, I love diners, by the way. So
I do too.
I love
I do
diners.
too.
I cannot
Because you can get whatever you want.
get whatever you want. I just love a diner
Except
vibe.
dessert. Don't ever get dessert at a diner. That's my number one rule.
I don't get dessert though. I'm not a dessert person.
Oh, okay.
I'm more of like I'm more savory.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sweet.
I love sweets. Except the diners. Desserts, I don't know what it is. They look amazing, but they never taste good.
Sometimes they're dry.
Yeah,
Maybe they've been
yeah.
on the thing. No, I'm like. I'm like a diner. Like I love like a good diner French fry. I mean, I don't really eat that stuff, but like yeah. So where would I go for lunch? It's probably gonna be like another diner. I would say. We like to do brunch. Me and my best friends. So we'll go to Urban Table, which is in Morristown, which is like Morristown is basically like a hot spot in New Jersey.
Okay.
It's where I work too. So we'll do Urban Table. The Committed Pig is really good. The Sterling Tavern is good, and then you get like a little cocktail. Although you can get cocktails at diners now, it's just not the same.
Right.
I do my
Delicious.
coffee, but
love
or
that.
any diner.
Dinner.
Dinner.
I'm just going through all of them.
No, let's do it. Dinner, I like. One of my favorite foods. I like sushi, so we like to order in with sushi. I love anything Mexican food.
Yum.
End of Elm is a really great restaurant that they do little plates in Morristown is a great place to go to. Where would I mean, I'll go anywhere if you tell me you're taking me out, but sometimes I just want like a burger.
Yeah.
And I want to sit at a pub.
Yes.
Sit at the bar.
Yes. With some waffle fries.
Yes.
I love waffle fries.
Oh my gosh.
God,
I do
my
love
favorite.
fries. We went out to the diner, so we went every 3 months, me and my girlfriends, we have like a dirty stay out night.
I love that.
So we'll go out to dinner. Oh, Sushi Lounge. That's where we
Oh,
love to go to dinner. So we went out to the Sushi Lounge, and then we went to the Grasshopper, which is a bar in Morristown. Generally, we do the Laundromat. The Laundromat is a 23 and over club. So you have to be 23. I don't know why, but that's their vibe. And it's like a speakeasy. So when you walk in, there's all these washer and dryers, and then you open up this washer and dryer and you go downstairs.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
But the music is like so from our time,
Yeah.
like 90s, 80s, 90s.
Oh, I love it.
Early 2000s. So we'll do that, and then we'll go to the Morristown Diner, and we'll be out till like 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
But I tell you, my recovery time after that is insane. So we did that on Friday, and I ended up ordering French fries, and my girlfriend's like, but she's like, no cheese or gravy. I'm like, I know. What was I thinking? But that's like my thing.
Yeah. I
cheese
love
and the
French
gravy.
fries. Oh.
But sometimes the gravy.
No.
I went to one diner. They're like, I'm sorry, we don't have.
You put cheese and gravy on the fries.
I like the cheese on the fries, and I like to dip the gravy.
Oh, okay,
I don't like because then
okay.
it makes it too mushy. But the guy's like, we don't have cheese fries and gravy. I was like, are you really a diner?
Right.
Like, what
I
the
mean, you
hell?
have cheese, you have gravy, so
Put on the damn
right.
fries. I think you're lazy.
Yeah.
So
that's what I would agree with.
But I do like to go out. I like to go out and have like a zhizhy. I say zhizh, but like a zhizhy night where it's nice, where you get like a little dress. I like to get dressed up.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah.
Coffee, which I probably could guess, would be Boontown Coffee.
Yes, I love Boontown Coffee.
Good. We just went there before the show, and that was my first time there. It's delicious. I mean, I had a tea, but still, the vibe there is great.
Yeah.
It's your like fantastic craving independent coffee shop, and it's
fair trade,
wonderful.
And they grind all the beans there, and you could actually buy the beans. Frankie, and you got to meet the owner.
Yes,
briefly.
I did. Yes, he's so nice.
Frankie, and Frankie's so great to me. Anytime I'm like, can I do a reading here? Yep, no problem.
Yeah, because they have you were saying they have downstairs. They have like a performance space.
Yeah, well, it's like a lounge, but they've done like they've had like open mic nights. They've had singer-songwriters. They've had tarot card reader. It's definitely a cool. So that's my favorite.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and they're having something for Valentine's Day on Friday.
Yes, he always has something going on.
Yeah,
he always has something going on.
That's so great.
Yeah.
Where do you love to shop?
So where do I love to shop? So I get a lot of my stuff. I like to have pieces that other people don't have. Mm-hmm. So I do love going to Salvation Army, Goodwill, where you can find fun pieces.
Yeah.
I've had some friends, they give me some hand-me-down clothes. You know where I love? Walmart. Believe it or not, a lot of the clothes that I wear are Walmart pieces, and I get a lot of compliments on them. Marshalls. I love Marshalls.
You have to have a lot of patience, I think, to sift through the racks. Yeah,
you have to have
can't
time.
do that.
You have to have time.
Yeah.
Marshalls, TJ Maxx. I love H&M. H&M. I like Forever 21 if I want something that's like a little trendy that I know is going to fall apart after I wash it. Target, I like, but I also love to support local shops.
Yes.
So we have some great local shops in Boonton. We have a Street Chic Boutique. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. And honestly, online. I mean, I know Amazon gets so much.
But there's a reason for that. I mean, they have great prices. You can
get
anything you want.
And I just ordered my fake leather pants, and they came in like 2 days later.
That's amazing.
But then I was invited to be into this influencer group, but I had to buy something. So I was like, okay, let me just see what I could buy that's like super, inexpensive. So I ordered a sweater, and it was coming from China, where everything comes from. And it took like 2 months to get here.
Oh my God.
So that's like, but Amazon, because a lot of times when I'm shopping, I'm looking for a specific, like I know what I want. I love vintage stuff. So any vintage shops, if you know a great vintage shop, drop it in the comments. So
I love that.
But I have I love fashion. Like I do an outfit of the day all the time on my stories.
Oh, that's fun.
It's where I just I show what I'm wearing. Today I'm like a little lumbersexual. I'm wearing a flannel and I have my beanie. But,
yes. Yes, I love it. I love Old Navy.
Oh, I love Old Navy.
There was a time I used to wear them, and then they kind of went downhill, but they're on an upswing now. And for the past few years, I've been getting all my stuff there.
Well, I think I do like Old Navy. Shout out Old Navy. They're cotton though. It's like that stiff cotton sometimes. I think works better for men than women.
Oh, okay.
Just because the way I actually bought a shirt that I love at Old Navy. I have a couple things that I bought at Old Navy that I absolutely love. But sometimes the stiffness. But you know what I love about Old Navy? I am legit a size smaller at Old Navy because their sizes run bigger.
Yeah.
So if I'm a small, I'm an extra small at Old Navy.
I love that.
So it's like good for my
head.
Right?
Yes. When you want to feel really, really,
great, go to Old Navy. And Walmart too.
I love it. And where do you go to get away from it all? Like when you need that recharge?
When I need to recharge, honestly, I love being in my home, even though we're renovating and we are literally living in a horror movie plot right now. I mean, I actually had my house cleansed before we moved in.
Oh my God.
I best money I ever spent. I had a woman come in and she cleansed the house because I was having anxiety. I was like, there's something in this house. And she told us that our house used to be a brothel.
Oh my God.
And it makes sense because we have the front staircase. So they probably would come in the front and go down the back. But she said that the women were not willing. So she goes, there's no ghosts in the house, but there is energy. And our house was very run down. It was like a flop house. It was like, so it was dirty. I mean, we really bought a dirty, disgusting. I mean, the bones are there.
Yeah.
But, it was just, it fell into disrepair.
Yeah.
So I love being at home. in the summer, I take my kids to Myrtle Beach. So we go to South Carolina. We take the
nice.
drive. I did that like 3 years ago. I just ripped off the Band-Aid. My husband takes the kids down the shore with him. I know we vacation separately in the summer because of our work schedule. So it's great. He goes with his family for a week. I go with my family, and then we always try and do something together. So Myrtle Beach. So I said, I'm just going to do this. And I drove with me and my 3 kids. I was like a nervous wreck, but it was so empowering.
Oh, wow.
I found a hotel halfway. It's like a highway hotel with a little pool. And my aunt has a condo. So we use the condo, and then my cousin comes with her kids. So it's just,
so nice.
and she's like my sister, and she's an only child. So I do that. Sometimes I'll just call my best friend and be like, hey, I'm coming over, and we'll just sit at her table and have coffee.
That's so
And
great.
we'll listen to music and big vision boards. And
I
I'm
love
trying
it.
to get him to do a vision board. I was like, you got to do a vision board.
You have convinced me. I'm gonna do
Do
one.
it.
Yes,
I'll send you a picture
yes.
of mine.
Okay, I would love that.
I know. I'm one of those. I said to him, I'm one of those manifestors.
Yes, it's good.
I have my mantras in the morning. I have my little altar next to my
God.
bed with all my things on it. It
That's
works.
great. That's great.
Hey, it brought us together.
It did. Yes. No, I have my little, like when I need some inspiration, certain posters I have in my house I look at. Like where I do around my computer, I have my. So there's this store in the city called it's like Fish's Eddy or something like that. And a few years ago, they were selling these $10 bills with all these famous women on them, like Joan Rivers, B. Arthur, I think Donna Summer. So anyway, I saw the Joan Rivers one. I'm a huge Joan Rivers fan, and I bought it. We were talking, yeah.
Yes.
So I have her. I have a signed picture of Olivia Newton-John by my desk. I have this signed print of Dolly that was like, was made for her a few years ago, and so I have all that as like inspiration.
Yeah,
and then,
good.
And then I have my necklace that I wear. So yeah, I believe in like stuff like that, and so I will now take the next step and create a vision board. You have convinced me.
I'm going to check up on you.
Okay.
Do that vision board,
Okay.
Adam.
All right. And 2 things that your answer just now came up with. One, since your house was a brothel,
Yes.
so there is a show at Primary Stages. It's playing at Cherry Lane Theater right now. Do you know Charles Bush?
Yes.
Okay, so his show, The Confession of Lily Dare, is
Yes.
hilarious. You have to go see it. It is
You saw it
so
already.
good.
You
Yes,
loved it. Okay.
so good. And I just did an interview with the director, Carl Andress, and it's going to be coming out in like a week or 2. It's so good, and part of it takes place in a brothel.
Oh
so
my God.
You need to go see it since your house was a brothel.
I was like a little low key excited. I was like, I'm sad that these girls were doing, whatever they were like against their will. But I was like, it's kind of cool that my house was.
Has like that history.
Yeah, like it's kind of like an interesting, and it makes
is an
sense
interesting
because,
story.
well, because when you drive around the town, there's all old house. So this the town has a lot of history in it. It's if you look it up, it's definitely so cool.
That's incredible.
I know.
That's incredible.
A brothel.
Yeah, I love it.
Of course.
Yes. And then the other thing that you brought up, and now it completely forgot.
Oh, 'cause I
so
was
when
like,
it comes,
this
no, it's all
happens.
right. When if it comes back, it comes back.
Okay.
Okay. So now, I always just point blank ask the question: what is something about yourself that you have never revealed before that you are willing to reveal today?
All right. Well, I think I told you right before we went on. Well, I have a couple things.
Okay.
that
Well,
have
you can
just
give me more
one?
than one. No, you can give me more than one.
I feel like my students are like, we do rose and thorn before class. They're like, I have 1 rose and 25 thorns. I'm like, okay. One thing that I want to reveal about myself. Well, I'm changing my name.
I love that.
This is it. Yes, I'm in the process of changing my name from Lauren Moran Mills to Lomo.
I love it.
I know. And now people, when they reach out to me, they call me Lomo. My students, I work at a private school, and the students and the faculty at this prestigious all-girls school call me Lomo.
That's incredible.
So that, and I am, this is the big announcement, I guess, which Adam knows. I wrote a web series, which we're going to be filming in April, May.
That's so
with
exciting.
WAG Production, who I am doing chicken legs with now. So Darren and Bill will be on that project. So yeah, I'm ripping off the Band-Aid. I'm doing all the things that I said I was going to do.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a reporter for the web
Yes.
series, call me out.
I already said I'm going to keep. I said to him because I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Because I was talking to Adam. So Adam, how did you get involved in show business?
Okay, so I've I grew up, I always wanted to be in entertainment in some form. I've always loved it. I did a little acting in college. I had my own radio show in college. And then post-college, I was volunteering at AIDS Action with some friends. We did an open mic night, and I did like a few minutes of stand-up comedy.
Right.
And people laughed, and I enjoyed it. And I started doing open mics and bringer shows where you have to bring people in order to perform.
Yeah.
And I did that for like 6 or 7 years. Unfortunately, I never got past the bringer level, which is why I guess I stopped.
Yeah.
And then I was like on a break, and I was like, I still want to do something to entertain people. And a former coworker of mine was like, well, you should start a blog. And it was right around the time Facebook was becoming more mainstream, not just at colleges. And I started reaching out to people I've met in theater, and I was like, would you like to be part of my blog? And they were like, yes. And then I just started contacting press reps, and I was getting interviews with a lot of people, and it kind of all just grew from there.
And his list of his interviews is really impressive. You've done red carpet events.
I've done some red carpet events, some opening night events.
And I was like, I want to come with you because I have no shame.
It would be so great. I would love to have you with me. We would make a great team.
We would make a great team.
We would, yeah.
So I was like, that's it. It's happening.
Yeah. And I do really want to get into acting and like some film work and stuff.
I'm gonna keep like.
And one thing about myself is that I just left my full-time job in November to pursue my website and podcast full-time and see where it all takes me. And I've never really embraced my performing side, in a full-time capacity. And this is sort of like that was my intention when I left. I was like, I'm gonna embrace everything. So I'm looking for all avenues to try everything.
Say yes.
Yes.
You're going to say yes.
I am going to say yes. I did.
I love it.
Yeah.
Look at that smile. Yeah. I love him. So you're still, and this is what I love when we were talking earlier, and you said, no, like, you've always kind of had this like journalistic, feel to you in the comedy.
Yes.
There's so many different avenues in the performing arts. It's not, and this is what I try and tell my students, it's not just acting or directing or choreography. When you open your playbill on the Broadway, look at all those people that make this happen.
And I mean, for 13 years, I worked at Spotco, which is the leading ad agency for Broadway shows. I was the office manager there for 13 years. There are so many jobs behind the scenes. It's incredible. And like you said, if you look in the playbill, I mean, there's the ad agency, there's a publicity office, there's a general manager, there's stage management, there's box office, there's
front of house.
There's so many things you can do. And for me, I mean, I spent all those years at the ad agency because I wanted to work in the business, and it was a great way to be in the business, especially, I mean, they're the number one ad agency for Broadway. So it's like, of course, that's where I want to be. And then, but I, now I'm at a different point in my life, and I want to really embrace my performer side. And I feel like, I did both for so long. I had the day job, and I had my site, and my site was only going so far, and I just had to finally really, really listen to myself and be like, you want to be full-time in entertainment, but you don't want to be behind the scenes. You want to be in the front of it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I think, don't you feel like society tells us, like, you can't, if you self-promote, you're this, or no, if you want attention, like, I admit I like attention.
Yes.
Not all the time. There are times when I'm like, I don't want attention, but when I want it, I want it, and I want to put myself out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for you.
Exactly. Thank you.
Seriously.
I mean, I promote my interviews all the time on social media, and you have to, and there's a fine balance between like over promotion and not enough. But
we had that moment when you're like, I'll post this. I was like, oh my God, he's just like me, because I tagged him in a post. And he's like, I'll post this at noon because I already just posted. I'm like, you sound like me because I'll say the same thing. Someone's like, can you post this? I'm like, I already posted, so I got to wait a couple hours.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to post too much because, sometimes going through your Instagram feed, it's like you have like 5 or 6 pictures from the same person, and it's like, okay, I get it.
And then they unfollow you.
Yes, or you just like aren't liking their stuff as much. And it's like, you don't want to be too much, but you don't want to be too little where people don't know about you. It's a hard balance to find.
And my husband will say, I know how hard you work.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like, guys, I'm not just doing the self-promotion it's like I'm doing it for like a reason. He's like, I know.
Yes.
He's like, I know. He's like, I know that. And so when do you do, like in the morning, I get up, 9 o'clock, I like to be doing my work. Like I start. So I have my coffee, and that's when I do all my emails, my social media, answering emails. And I like to be done basically by noon. So I give myself like 3 hours a day right now. What do you like? Because I used to do it all throughout the day. And so, I mean, I'll answer emails like if Ralph's emailing me, but I try and really get the bulk of it done in the morning.
Yeah.
Because then I found that you asked me how I do it. That's how I think I do the parenthood with the business is I chunk out different times of the day when I hit other
smart.
things.
Yeah. I kind of do it throughout the whole day. I mean, I guess because I'm really just focusing on my website podcast right now.
Right.
So it's like if I'm not responding to emails or reaching out to people for interviews or scheduling an interview, then I'm editing an interview that I've recorded or I'm typing up an email interview that I've done or I'm figuring out when I want to promote the interviews that I've done already. So it's kind of like throughout the day. I guess it's like I do spend all day working on them, but it's like I do different things throughout, but I don't have it set like I mean, of course the morning I always check my emails, but it's not like I'm dedicating the afternoon to this. I will try like knowing I keep a to-do list of what I have to do. I have I love that program Stickies on the Mac I do have a Mac actually. And you have so like I have different color stickies and I have interviews I have to conduct, interviews I have to type up, interviews I have to promote. So then I do figure out the sort of like when am I going to do everything. So I just look at, and I look at when because usually my interviews are focused on somebody who has an event coming up or a show or something. So I have to get it up within a certain amount of time. So
time sensitive.
So I sort of now like categorize it as who's coming up, the most recent show to the furthest out, and then I figure it all out from there.
So I started doing where I write down everything at night that I have to do the next day. It kind of solidifies it in my memory what I have to do. But for me, it's not the writing down, it's the crossing off that's the thrill.
Yeah.
So when I get it done the next day and I can cross it off, that's kind of what gets me going to the next level. That and the chunking. Because I would like right now I'm building my website. My friend built it, Kevin built it for me, and I'm kind of keeping it up not great because it's taken me a long time, but I'm learning. But I'll chunk out a little bit. Okay, so here I'm going to do this day instead of looking at the big picture and overwhelming myself, because then I don't do it.
Right.
But if I do little bits of chunking, and I think I've just been chunking out life now. And that seems to work.
I mean, I like having the list because I get to see, and then I can pick and choose, like, also, what am I in the mood to work on? Because certain things I know won't take me as long as others, and it's like, I may not be in the mood in that moment to do something that I know is going to take me a half hour or 45 minutes to do.
Right.
I'm also, I'm going to be starting a Patreon page where they, where people can contribute on a monthly basis to help fund your projects.
Let me know how that. I thought about doing that.
I'm in the middle of like setting it up.
Let me know,
and then
how
I'll
you
let
think.
you know after it launches.
Yeah, and I'll help promote you. But let me know.
So but it took me. I mean, just to get the initial page set up. I mean, that was like an hour and a half of time.
I know.
And you think you also it also is like you can have a vision of like this is what I'm going to get to, but then everything takes a little bit longer than you think, and so you could think, this is what I'm going to get done today, and then it's like, oh no, I'm not.
But do you think it's because of our age? And I'm just saying because I find that so Kevin does a lot of my tech stuff. It takes him like literally, and he's considerably younger than I am. Where me, I'm like, is it because not that we're old?
No,
it's just because we didn't grow up with it.
Right. I think some of it is. I mean, there are definitely certain things that I want to get better at. I mean, I want to get better at Photoshop.
Yeah,
I have such a limited understanding of it. I mean, and I find workarounds, but I'm like, the workaround doesn't always work. So, I mean, I just think it's like you said, because we didn't grow up with all of this. So everything that comes out now is new to us. Whereas kids growing up now, it's just from the get-go, they're introduced to it. So, I mean, I mean, we grew up with pen and paper.
I know.
So
But that's why I'm such a big pen and paper person.
Yeah.
I love feeling the paper. I love like at night, like because I'm memorizing lines right now. So I love like I love the sound of the paper, the smell of the paper.
I don't love writing as much as I used to.
No, I'm sloppy.
But I do like
the idea of it.
I like the idea of
Yeah.
it. I mean, even like today, I had everything typed up, and then I was like, oh, there's a few things I want to say, so I just wrote them. So it was like nice to be like, oh, you know what? I have something that I can add these notes to.
Right.
I like making notes on my phone, but I do find making notes on the phone, you kind of forget about them because it's like not in the forefront.
Well,
which is why I like the sticky program.
See, I have to look at that.
Yeah, it's very easy to use.
But I do a book, so I have my planner because I have to
Oh,
write down
yes.
everything.
Uh-huh.
But then I also have it in my phone, and then we have the house calendar. So it's like trying
wow,
to
you have
manage.
a lot of places.
Because my kids have stuff too. Like this one has
Yes.
cheering, this one has play practice, this one has acting class, this one has art class. So it's
You have to
like
keep it all.
all. It's crazy.
I mean, I'm happy to be able to just have the one calendar, which I just use on my phone.
Yeah.
But I do have different colors for different things. Like
that's smart.
I have like all my website stuff in one color. I have personal stuff in another
it's like
color.
tabbing it.
I have my fitness
Right.
stuff in another color. So that's how I manage it that way.
Can I make an announcement on my show, your show?
Sure. I love it.
So Ralph, is he still watching? Ralph, if you're there, I'm going to talk about April 18th. So I've been invited there's a local theater in in Montville called the Barn Theater. So I've been invited to do, Danny and I will be there. We've been invited to the scene to do a podcast live on stage.
Oh my God. That's so exciting.
So it's going to be like the podcast live on stage from an audience, and Richard Maltby Jr. will be joining
Oh my
us.
God.
So I'm like going to die because he was amazing at Pangea.
Yes, he sure was.
Did you guys do the sing along, the Hallelujah?
Yes,
Wasn't that
yes.
awesome?
Oh my God.
I just was like,
incredible.
What
incredible. What an amazing night that's going to be.
I know. He's going to, and I get to sit down with him,
my
and
God.
Danny and I will get to talk to him. I mean, because he's winning the Lifetime Achievement Award,
Yes.
him and David Shire, for the Bistro
Yes.
Awards.
Yes.
Coming up. So I was like, Ralph. So Ralph and I have been working. So thank you, Ralph, for that. So yes, April 18th. Mark your calendars. I think we're thinking 7:30 p.m. Richard Maltby Jr. will be in good old Dirty Jurors at the Barn Theater in Montville. The Barn Theater is a community theater where Laura Benanti and Jane Krakowski both started.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
it's a
gonna be
cool
incredible.
theater.
Yes.
So I'm really honored to do that.
Oh, that's going to be so much
and
fun.
I've never done something in front of a live audience.
Oh, it's
so
fun.
I'm like a little shaken.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. So I don't want to ever say I'm not prepared. I'm always prepared, but I am definitely more like an off the cuff person. Do you because you had all your notes and stuff like that? Like I obviously do prepare, but do you ever just try and like come in and be like, I'm just going to sit down and chat? Like,
I want to say it's rare. I always have my notes with me.
Yeah.
Because I do like having that clear direction of what I want to talk about. However, I go off the cuff if like in their answers
Like
they
right now.
say something that has sparked a thought for me.
Right.
Like when you were
Right.
talking about the brothel. Oh, that sparked going
Right.
to see The Confession of Lily Dare. But I do like having my notes because it keeps me on track.
Right.
Because also like I only have a certain amount of time with them.
Yeah.
So sometimes I may like if I'm gonna I may just tell somebody like these are the topics we're gonna talk about. Just so they have an idea of what to come in for. They may not know the exact questions, but I always do have specific questions written because I guess this is something I will reveal about myself. Is I sometimes do get nervous doing these interviews.
I do too.
And not because I mean I usually have great rapport with everybody.
Yeah.
I've never had like a standoffish moment with somebody, but
you never know.
I don't want to get I hate getting tongue tied.
Yeah.
I hate not knowing what I want to say. So I do always have my notes, and it also just makes me feel like I'm more prepared because also going off the cuff, like I don't want to forget to especially if there was something
train of
and I
thought.
do lose my I mean I
Or-
hate to
or-
say it,
or-
but I'm
or
like
your
at that
guest
age
might-
where
I know.
where I lose my train of thought all the time.
And your guest might interrupt you,
right,
like me right now.
Yes, or me, yes. I will say I've actually never revealed this in public, but
Oh.
I I don't want to say I had a standoffish interview, but I did get to interview Marion Seldes one time, and it was when I first started my website out. And when I first started my website, I was very on the path of I want to know the everyday things about people.
Yeah.
So like my early questions when I first started my site were like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. Where do you get your news? Questions like that.
Yeah.
So what's the greatest gift you ever had? So I got to interview her in person, but it was like pulling teeth to get answers.
I've had interviews like that. Was it like yes or no answers?
Like I said,
Yeah, I've had that.
I asked her like, what was your favorite role that you've played on Broadway? Well, they're all my favorite.
Oh no! And you're
I'm
like, shit.
I mean, okay. And at that time, I was only doing print interviews, so I would transcribe whatever she was telling me. But when I asked like what the greatest gift she ever got, I don't know. All right, hugs from my grandchildren. I mean, it was just like every answer was like it was so hard to get an answer, and I just. That was probably my most difficult interview ever.
I had a difficult interview. I was interviewing a country music. I can't remember his name. Forgive me. He's what was his name? But he's from Texas. Very, very country. Very out of my. Because I'm not a fan of country. No offense.
We have to stop.
Why are you country?
I do love country music.
Well, it depends who. Like I love Dolly Parton.
Yes.
I'm
okay,
talking
I can stay
like,
now.
Yeah, I'm talking like the newer stuff. I like the old school. Like
Reba McEntire.
Yeah, like that stuff is like different. But now there's been like this whatever. But this guy's talented. I mean, he's definitely talented. But he was answering me like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. I was like, oh my god.
Oh God, can't you give me something?
I know.
Something.
So I was like, I was like trying to make up all these, It wasn't horrible, but I was definitely like deer in headlights.
Yes.
So wait, so who's your favorite? Well, Dolly's your favorite. I mean, I love Dolly.
Yeah.
I love
my favorite singers.
Country singers.
Okay, yeah, Dolly's number one.
Yeah. Because we love Dolly.
Yes, I would say either Reba or Martina McBride are number two. I love Joe DiMessina.
And I don't judge. I don't hate country. I just have never like.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like punk. I have tattoos.
There's only a handful of country artists that I love. See, I'm not a punk fan. I'm not like that.
Yeah,
punk
I like that hard
alternative music.
I love all
that's not me.
I love that like tattoos. Yeah. Like I'm already like, what's my next tattoo gonna be? Not my eyebrows.
I'm pop country.
I'm thinking of
easy listening.
The Man in Black. Why can't I think of his name?
Yes, him.
Oh, gosh. Adam, my brain's dead.
I know, now I'm thinking the same thing.
It's the rain. They did a great movie, Cash.
Yeah, Johnny Cash.
Yeah. Like, love Johnny Cash. Yeah. And actually, Roseanne Cash, one of my associate DJs, interviewed her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, my
God. So, like,
that's
amazing. Yeah, you know what? And I'll tell you, New Jersey actually has a very big country scene.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. Oh, wow.
New Jersey, a lot of my friends are country artists. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I just, it's just something I never popped out. Actually, my best friends. Both of my best friends are big country music girls.
Oh, wow.
But I was like, I'll go a show.
Yeah, yeah.
I love music.
I mean, I've seen Dolly so many times in concert. I mean, she's incredible.
She's in one of my I'm Gone, that song.
Oh, yes.
That's like my
the chewing gum and candy. It's magazine. Yeah, I love it.
Oh, I love
God,
Dolly.
so good.
I love Dolly.
Yeah, she's the best.
Please.
She's like one of my top people I want to interview.
We're gonna make it happen. I'm gonna help you manifest this.
Okay, on my vision board.
On your vision board,
yes.
You got it. No,
well,
you got
I did.
it.
I actually did have a dream about a year or two ago that I interviewed her in my dream.
So let's make it now. We have to because remember your thoughts.
Yes, and I'll fly to Nashville. I mean, not Nashville. I'll fly to Dollywood to interview her. I'll interview her at Dollywood.
Adam, it's happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna manifest with you.
It.
I manifest for myself, but I also manifest for other people.
That's incredible.
I'm that amazing at manifesting. Listen, I manifest when Danny and I went to see Percy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
We went out to dinner and we were sitting there eating. We're in this little Italian restaurant and I looked at him. I'm like, I just want some dessert. Do you know, like a millisecond later, the waiter's like, this is on the house.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I manifested that.
I love that.
I manifested that.
I love that. And you're not a sweets person.
No, but I was like,
so
like
funny.
sometimes you just like want like a little something.
I mean,
after.
I always want dessert, but I
just want all like the carbs. How do we watch our car? I had pizza last night. I
had pasta 2 days in a row.
Love
and then
pasta.
I just had that scone. So I need to go.
Cookie.
I need to go work it out somewhere.
You're fine. You look great.
Oh, so do you.
Thank you. Mutual admiration.
I love it.
We look like we're related.
We do.
I know.
We do. I mean, I knew from from our first phone conversation, it was like a 5-minute phone conversation. I was like, I can tell our energy is going to be good. And
I
line
knew
up
it.
perfectly.
I knew it.
Yeah.
And when Ralph's like, he's going to come in, I was like, yes.
Yes,
Wait,
I was so excited.
Chris Learn, are you still there? Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Chris, if you're listening. Yeah, Chris is my co-star in the film.
Oh.
He's my little, my young lover boy.
Oh, I love that.
That I'm hitting on.
Oh,
he
nice.
gets killed too. We both get killed together. But
that's so great.
Yeah. So it's his birthday today. It's funny because he's much younger than me, and I'm like, I could probably be his mom. You know. It's
hence the Mrs. Robinson.
Do you know I've always wanted to play Mrs. Robinson?
No.
I just there's something about that role.
There could be a remake or
a revival.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to be the mom in Poltergeist, and this movie that I'm doing, this feature, it's like a similar mom.
Oh my god.
So I was like, I'm kind of
That's
like,
so incredible.
but then I'm like, I'm doing all my bucket list items. What does that mean? Does that I don't know.
Means you'll have new bucket list items.
I know. That's
That's
new
great
ones.
though.
No, it's exciting.
I mean,
it's definitely exciting.
It is. I mean, I feel like, leaving my job was very scary.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I have found a way to make it work for this next year. But
and your partner's supportive.
Yes, so supportive, and my family and my very close friends, and it's a huge step. It's like, trying to figure out this new life there's no roadmap for it. But I do feel like it's something I always wanted, and I'm happy to take the leap. And whatever happens in this year is going to be incredible. And, in a year I may see that, I do need to go back to, an office job, and that's fine.
No,
but
I see
great things happening.
I
but
see it.
I'm happy to give myself that chance to at least say, look what happened when I really, really focused on it.
Yeah.
And I do feel like, similar to you, I'm saying yes to everything.
Say
I mean,
it.
maybe not every single thing, but
within reason.
right, within reason.
Right.
But any opportunity that comes up, I look at the opportunity and I'm like, is this something I want to do? And when Ralph talked about interviewing you, I was like, yeah, I could do another email interview. But when I was told that you have your own radio show on an internet radio station, I was like, why not just come on the air?
I love it.
And so, I put that out there, was like, well, let's see if she'd be game for it. And you were, and I'm thrilled. And I want to do more flip the tables and interview the hosts, and the red carpet stuff I love.
I've never done that, and that's one of my bucket list things. I would love to be.
It's a
I'm sure it's hard.
It's thrilling and exciting, but it is very challenging because, you literally have 1 to 3 minutes with each person. And there's a lot of wrap it up, and depending on where it is, I just released my opening night interviews from Emoji Land, which was a few weeks ago, but first of all, there were I probably interviewed 10 people on the red carpet that night, and then plus the music was blasting, so it took a long time to edit because there were all these other factors that contributed to so which is why it took a month for it to be published. But it's you're also the next day I was hoarse because I was shouting over the music, and
you're also
so
it's not sitting here, you're trying to get right. It's a little frenetic.
And it's and it's oh, you're interviewing one person, but you're also looking down the line to see who else is coming up, and that's especially in a scenario like that, I'm so happy I have my notes because I would totally lose my train of thought just with how quick everything moves.
I was gonna say, because it's you're being pulled, right?
And it's have you spoken to this person yet, that person yet? That I can keep track of, but it's also I don't want to miss out on people, and then there were I don't think in that case, but in other cases there were people I wanted to talk to that I didn't get to because then they have to go take a cast photo, and then that sort of kills the momentum, and then it's you have who you have,
right?
So it's thrilling as it is. There are challenges that go
of course, and that's one thing too, with journalism, it is hard because there's a lot of stuff on the back end, right?
Yes.
A lot of the homework. Because if I'm going to interview someone, I'm definitely researching. I'm going down that rabbit hole.
100%.
Trying to get information. And then,
and it shows that you've done your homework and you've done your research, and it makes for a better interview because the person is happy that you actually know something about them, And also then if they bring stuff up, you can be like, oh yeah, that reminds me of
this.
Yeah.
Did you? Because did you? Now, are you ever like afraid to ask a question? Like, are you like I want to get like Barbara Walters where I can ask like those like gotcha questions where like they're not going to get up and like walk the F out.
I've gotten nervous on some questions. I can't remember like in the moment, but I do know if it's a question I feel like might be a little difficult or a little too personal, I definitely stutter before I ask.
You're like,
But most of the time, I also try to save those questions more for the end. So you've already been in it, and they've earned your trust already.
Right.
So then maybe they'll be more willing to.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times that I ask people to reveal something they've never told, a few people are like, well, why would I reveal anything? Like, why would I do that? Like, I'm going to say what I've said already. But then sometimes I'll also rephrase it and be like, well, okay, if you don't want to do that, do you have like a habit that you do when you get home at the end of the day, and like if somebody saw you do that, you would be like, oh my God, I can't believe somebody saw me do that. So it's like another way to still get that answer, but it's phrased a little differently. I mean, I do bring up some hard topics. Like I was very fortunate. I got to interview Gloria Rubin, from ER, and she just released a book last year called My Brother's Keeper, and it's about the passing of her two brothers. And it's a wonderful book, and she's actually going to be at Joe's Pub at the end of March doing like a concert, like reading excerpts from the book.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's going to be very moving. But during the interview, there were a lot of hard questions I had to ask her, but given what she wrote the book about, I wasn't that nervous to ask those questions
because they were in the book.
Yes.
So it wasn't like you were like, tell me,
Right.
That's so great. What time is it?
It's 2:15.
Oh my gosh. We had just been talking. I was like, we're going to do I have to go get my kids. Holy moly.
And hopefully I didn't get a ticket.
I know. Kate just got a ticket. I think she's pissed at me. I was like, do you want me to pay for your ticket? I know. It's the only thing. I mean, what are you going to do? People would park all day if they didn't have meters.
That's right.
I'm sorry to run, Adam.
Yes.
Holy
oh my God.
bejeez.
I know. This was so much fun.
Oh my God.
We'll have to do another time.
We're going to do another time.
when-
I could come into you. We can like.
Oh, that would be great. That would be fun.
It.
We'll have to find a joint interview that we could do together.
Yes, we're BFF.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
I love it.
We're connecting. I want to thank Ralph Lampkin for setting this amazing interview up.
Yes, thank you, Ralph.
Adam Rothenberg. I'm like, I just said it before many times.
You could just call me Adam.
Call me Adam. Go find him. Go follow him on all the socials. He's phenomenal. He has some great interviews out there. Support artists in all forms.
Yes.
We are artists.
Yes.
And I don't know. Keep up for, keep your eyes peeled for what's coming up next for the both of us.
There's a lot of stuff
Lots
in
of
store.
stuff.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh,
and
I'm so glad we came in.
Yes,
I could have talked for like 2 hours.
I know, me too. I could have kept going. So, and thank you to everybody for watching and listening and allowing me to spend this time with you.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. And listen, I don't even know what I'm going to put on here for the music, so good luck, everyone.